Hello, everybody, and welcome to Expansion Network. As you know, accelerating the consciousness of humanity every single day. And this is show number 102, 102 of the Ask Julius Show, that show in which our audience and you can do it here live, or you can send emails, you can send questions to support at channelingjulius.com. And Julius and their group of entities are going to answer those questions. And as usual, Kasey Speer is going to be helping us channel Julius and their group of entities. How are you, Kasey?
I'm so wonderful. Angel, if there's any way for you to turn your volume up just a tiny bit, to let everybody know that Angel is traveling right now. And so he's so graciously still staying connected for the show tonight from a hotel room. So just sending that out to everybody in case he looks a tiny bit glitchy, or we're going to make our way through the show. Hoping everybody is doing so wonderful. Love the springtime. Been playing in my garden, been planting flowers all day. I hope everybody out there is enjoying their springtime, able to get out there and get that sun, get that great energy flowing for themselves. It is always so amazing to be here.
Absolutely amazing to be here. And as Kasey said, exactly, we are itinerary in a different location today. So, but regardless, we'll try to do our best to catch up with the speed if there's issues with the speed. But we'll still try to ask all of your questions. And the people are starting to say already, hello, everybody. And what else we have here? Oh, we had Amanda before. We had XXO Hey, Julius, Kasey, Angel, and World. We have Sarah Air here as well. Hi, Kasey, Angel, and Julius. And we have Delane saying hello, everyone. And obviously, Greg Nyman Jr. saying hello, everyone. Love to be here. All right. So, as I usually do, I'm going to make myself small just because we want to make sure that all the space in the screen, in your displays, is actually coming from Kasey, and the responses and questions from the audience and the responses from Julius. All right, so the first question is already here. Thank you so much, Tammy, and that's her question. What's going on when you get a feeling like everything is surreal? Sometimes it can last just a moment, and sometimes much longer. It's like nothing can affect you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is the moment of now, master. It is the present moment, known as the present moment, or being in the moment of now. And what a beautiful description you provided for everyone and for us to explain your experience. Your word is right on target, because the thing about being in the moment of now, master, is it's not only a moment where you're aware, right? There's just this sudden awareness where there's more going on than whatever's sitting in front of you, whatever the hologram is presenting itself as for you. Maybe with whatever you were doing for the moment in the tasking, where you get this overwhelming sensation of you being large and present and aware. And it is usually, master, not only a very pleasing and joyous emotional state, but a calming and reassured state, a calm, okay? In that alignment of the now, master, in the present moment, in the void, it is the most calm state. And in the calm, master, you can navigate your course. It is when you are fully open for your downloads and your receivership. It is where full creativity is open for expression. And more than anything, master, no fear. No fear. Just even using that as a word of description would be accurate, is because most everybody has no idea how much fear plays into their reality, to their moments, to their hours, to their days, to their years, and that there's usually this undercurrent of stress to their nervous system. And in that moment of now, that's gone because of the vibration that you are in the moment of now, master. Everything calms down and you are not in fear. You are not in fear. And that is your authentic nature. That is who you are, Master. That is your sourceness, you as source, described commonly and oftenly as being the magical place of the now. We are so glad that you experience it and are aware of it, and we encourage you to visit it often.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tammy, for the question. And now we have another question coming from Elizabeth Walls. And her question is, Hi, Julius. I'm experiencing pain in my bones, spine, neck, and head. If that is the stored emotional trauma, how do I know what kind of trauma and where is that trauma coming from? Thank you.
Great question, Master. Great question. The very first thing that we want to tell you is you do not necessarily have to dissect it all the way down to that in order to find relief from releasing it. Okay. We know that that can be the human nature of dissection, of figuring everything out. But sometimes, Master, it is important to deal with the byproduct of the trauma first and then ease your way back kind of into the revealment, okay? So your trauma will be revealed to you when you're able to deal with the information of it. So don't get overly anxious to discover exactly the details of it, because that could trigger your trauma even more deeply. What we can tell you is this. So here's a wonderful technique for you, okay? So, Masters, when you have trauma, okay, trauma shows up in different places of the body, commonly as pain. But even when you are experiencing, moments of great heartbreak and great sadness, if you pause and breathe and can notice right where that pain is, for you, you have described, you know exactly where that pain is, and immediately go into providing light and awareness to those areas, and possibly even some of those tapping techniques to help relieve the trauma. So there is a wonderful technique, Masters. This is for all of you. This is for general trauma release. And it's where you're tapping and smacking your body all the way up and down. Every morning, there's a technique of energy release where you tap your head, you tap the front, you tap the back. You do this 5 or 10 minutes smacking of your body. That can be as hard as you want or as light as you want, but it gets energy moving through the body. Doing that is going to help relieve some of the trapped energy. And when you do that, Master, then you are more able to calm your emotional system down and your nervous system down, and possibly then start working on what that trauma may be. And that is an approach that may be best for you to use, first of all, rather than holding off on dealing with that trapped emotional trauma and trying to find out why and where it comes from first. Sometimes you want to release that, get out and move, get out and blow energy through your bodies, Master. Blow that energy through your bodies. And then your emotional state of being able to deal with the information that you will receive about what the trauma is going to be easier for you to deal with.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you, Elizabeth, for the question. The next question comes from Deline. Thank you for being here. What's happening in sleep paralysis?
What is happening in sleep paralysis? So generally, Master, that's when your soul is re-entering into the body and it just hasn't made its full descent and its full seatedness, and your body is starting to wake up. So commonly that's what it is. You have out-of-body experiences all the time. Your soul leaves your body all the time when you sleep, anytime that you're engaged in a deep sleep status. And you are traversing into other timelines, into other dimensions and other realms and things of that nature. And then when your body starts to wake itself up for different reasons, usually that soul comes whooshing back in a moment's notice, and you wake up, and it's a seamless transition for you from sleeping state to awake state. But there could be a stall And many things could be causing that stall, where your body is having a little bit of a stall time, reassimilating with the soul's essence before it becomes fully engaged for its movement or for your awakened state. And many things can be causing that stall. Number one is medications. Trauma can be causing that stall, and frequency variations in your room and in your environment. Also, programming to your brain, of course, staying on your devices late at night and things like that. All of those things will knock you out of your energetic flow and sync with your own energies, and that can be causing the stall and disruption. When that occurs, Master, we would suggest you do just some breathing. Okay, you're going to feel like you can't move your body, so we want you to relax. The worst thing that you want to do is to move into fear. Fear is going to make that detachment even longer and even more stressful for you. So try to relax. Take a couple of very deep breathing cycles, counting inhale to 4, exhale to 4. Do 4 or 5 rounds of that and invite your soul in, Master. You can literally say, come on, get yourself seated. We can do it. All is well. But pay attention to what happened the night before for you. What kind of programs were you watching? Were you up late? What's your energy frequency like? What's your trauma and stress level in your life? Okay, what medications you may or may not be on, and what personal stress are you dealing with that you're not divulging to anybody, and you are holding that very, very tight in your body, and that can be causing the disruption and the disconnect as well.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, Delene, for the question. Let's go to the next question from Sarah Air. I sometimes experience something like the opposite side deja vu, where some familiar place or thing feels new. What is occurring when that happens?
Excuse us.
Bless you.
So, Master, just like deja vu, more than likely you're getting a quick time jump, a timeline jump. Okay. So thank you for making that statement, because nobody speaks of that. Nobody speaks of that. People dream of that, right? People will have their dreams at night where they can't figure out where they are, and everybody else seems to know what's going on, and other people may even know who you are, and you have no idea who somebody is. Of course, those aren't really dreams. You're always in some form of reality that is taking place. But we would tell you you're probably just doing that same thing. Most people describe with the familiar in a strange place, and you're describing the unfamiliar, the strangeness in what should be a familiar place for you, but it's the same issue. So we're going to tell you it's a timeline jump, a glitch in your timeline movement with yourselves. And thank you for sharing your experience for everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you, Sarah, again. Next question from XXX Acute Gaming. And that's their question. Dear Kasey, I often get up to 8 dreams at night. I regularly use tarot cards and to decipher the messages. How can I better interpret my dreams without needing tarot cards as often? Thanks.
Stop using the tarot cards. Stop using the crutch, Master. Okay. So it's the exact same thing as when somebody's like, well, I broke my leg and I've been using my crutches and I want to learn how to strengthen my legs. So what should I do? And we would say, well, put the crutches down and practice walking. Okay. So tarot cards are amazing. They are so much fun. And of course, they can be freakishly accurate. But the problem, one of the issues with them is naturally intuitive people can become too dependent on them. Start breaking out of using all of everything. You could maybe start by using them to initiate what you are perceiving, but then, look away, turn away from them and go with your gut. Use your own intuitive nature more and more and more, Master. Okay. So the tarot cards are a wonderful thing. And some people will never get past the usage of a tarot card, and they can be very accurate readers. But most of the time people use tarot cards or any type of oracle cards or, things of that nature. They're very intuitive people, and they'll start really leaning into more of their intuitiveness. So start practicing trusting, Master, your own interpretation. And by now, you should be able to read those tarot cards just like the back of your hand, right? Like they pretty much are like kindergarten to you at this point. So trust yourself and do your own interpretation, Master. And don't ever forget this. You are writing your story. You are writing your story. Your story is not written by anything or anyone outside of you. You are writing your story. So you cannot be incorrect in your own interpretation of your own creation. So hold steadfast in your knowing of that.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much, and thank you, XXX Gaming, for the question. Let's go to the next question from the one and only Greg Nyman Jr. Julius, I have been listening to teachings on the wide galaxy for about the 50th time. LOL. I am really drawn to this subject matter. The information you provide is amazing. My question is, do valves and cylinders exist in the wide galaxy? Quite a question. Quite a question. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah. So we're not quite sure if you're talking about if you exist in the white galaxy as a form of a being, if things get clogged or blocked in your energetic field, or if you're asking if the energy that exists in the white galaxy can be used for clearing and blowing out all of those energies. So we're going to approach that from a couple of different formats. The white galaxy is a facilitated place, just like any other form of a galaxy, from a chaotic galaxy to a structured galaxy to a black galaxy to a white galaxy to a blue galaxy. You can have all kinds of existences there, and any type of formation that you bring forth for yourself to exist in those places. If you are an emotional sentient being, then you can have things that you are dealing with emotionally that would be dealt with in that interpreted space in different ways. But just remember, Master, that anytime you embody yourself, your body actualizes your emotions and your thoughts, and therefore is subjective to clogging, blocking, misinterpretation that could utilize and facilitate the need for clearing of those limitations for itself. The energy of the white galaxy is an omnigalactic energy field. It can be utilized in healing and restoration for physical bodies, even here in your dark galaxy or black galaxy that you are existing in. But very, very, very few healers have the ability and have access of utilizing that.
All right. Thank you so much. The next question comes from, and thank you, Greg, for the question. The next question comes from Robin Azima. Great to have you here as usual. Julius, I'm wondering what may be the highest healing modality on the planet? Is there one that has not devolved? Thank you.
Well, we just, interesting enough, just spoke about the omni quantum energy brought forth from the white galaxy. That's probably the highest vibrational energy that you can use or handle using while you are physically embodied. It is very similar to pure plasma energy that runs through your physical body. And some quote unquote energy workers can use that energy. Healers are interpretive. Okay. What we really is a better description is energy master, is energy workers. Okay. Because you actually are the one that heals your own self through the facilitation of an energy worker. Okay. But we understand your question because everybody has gotten so used to somebody being a healer, but we actually think that that is misinterpreted and can also represent a separate and singular perspective where true expansion, restoration, and reviving and reconciliation of anything that's limited within you needs to come from a unity consciousness, energy, and perspective. And so in that case, you would be looking for somebody who has dropped the interpretive word of healer, because that is speculative of separate and singular and may in fact be using a very limited form of energy and be looking for somebody who interprets and knows that everything is one and that it's just assisting another in opening up to receiving the energy of their own self for a higher experience of themselves. That person is more likely to be using the higher energy frequencies.
All
We're going
right,
to get in trouble.
good. Let's continue. Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you for your question. Let's continue. In this case, we have Love Light Lauren. Not long ago, someone was coming for me. I'm not sure if you remember this, but I've been wondering if you could expand on that. Thank you.
So, Master, there's always people coming, but you are not letting the person who's blocking that person from coming, you're not letting them go. So it's like this, okay? You're a quarterback on a professional football team, and you've got blockers that are on your team that are also world class, and you're waiting for somebody to get through to you, but your blockers are blocking them because they're world class blockers, and you're sitting there going, "How come my person can't come through to me?" And we'll say, "Well, because you still have the world class blockers that you brought into your own life working against the person that is on their way to you." That's what we will tell you. Okay, so it appears that Angel has gotten disconnected. If everybody will hold on for just a moment. Again, he's in a hotel room. Sue is messaging me right now. He's in a hotel room and trying to get reconnected here. If we'll just kind of give him a few moments. And in the meantime, let's go back to talking. We're going to let Julius talk to you a little bit about the facilitating of energies, okay? About the facilitating of energies. So you as embodied beings have become unfamiliar with knowing that yourself is all energy, all energy. There is only energy that exists, masters, and you are all the same energy, representing itself in a variety of frequency representations. That's why the interpretation is of differentiation, of so many things being different. And so when we are talking about energy and energy workers and facilitators, just remember, masters, that you all are all of the energy that we are speaking of. Angel, are you back with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, it was sent out, but I'm back. I'm going to be without video for the remaining of the show today, if that's okay. And I will be still able, obviously, to interact with you and do all the different things that we are doing backstage. But thank you so much, Kasey. Shall we move to the next question?
Next question, please.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go to the next question. And again, thank you, Lori, for yours. Ashley Bell Caswell. The question is, hi, Julius. My mother is shocked that I haven't shown my kids novels and movies about the Holocaust. She thinks it's important so that it never happens again. Will this help or just bring them down?
Right. So here's the cool thing. So, masters, you are constantly manifesting. All of you are manifesting machines. Okay. You've forgotten that this is true. So you actually try to take classes on how to manifest, but you are manifesting machines. What enters into your brain as a thought and you have an emotional response about, you are likely to manifest. You are likely to manifest. This is exactly why your history repeats itself, is because you keep teaching everyone to think and feel about the history the same way. And so it gets all manifested again. Okay. There are ways to inform others of extreme limitations that have taken place. But if you start exactifying the details of those tragedies, masters, they're going to just keep repeating themselves. And you know what? The people who initiated all of that know that. And they want all of this conflict to repeat itself and remain in an ongoing state. Your mother does not understand this. She doesn't understand it, but that's the truth. We understand her point of view because it's a tragedy and nobody wants to be forgotten in their suffering. They don't. But in manifestation, it will repeat itself as long as it keeps being reminded with the dates and the places and the actions and the number counts of the deaths and the genocides. And this is exactly how it happens. So we are going to side with you, Master, on this, and to limit the details of some of those things so they don't repeat themselves, and find other ways to speak of keeping your light up, keeping your love up, keeping your compassion up, keeping your empathy up, keeping your vibration up, and teaching your children that they are source, so is all others. And you should not be treating anybody any way that you do not want to receive that treatment in return, because that is the law of energy, masters, and that is the best way to move humanity from limitation into expansiveness and let go of all of that tragedy.
All right, thank you so much. And now it's the time to go for the special of this week, which is actually unbelievable. And as you know, there's this QR code at the top left corner of the screen that we definitely recommend you to take your phones, point your camera at that QR code, scan it, and then you will go to this place where I'm going to try to share today. All right, let me see if the resources of my incredible laptop help us. All right, everybody should be seeing yeah, we should. Do you see it as well, Kasey?
Yeah, let me tell you, we are very excited. This is a launch for something. So normally we launch new processes on summits and different showcases. We are launching this on this show. So everybody, if you will be patient with me for a few moments or a few minutes while I explain this cylinder process that we are offering to all of you in this package. So this is what you would be getting if you were watching us on a summit. We've not done this before. We are very excited because we love you guys so much. We wanted to be able to provide this for you. So Julius explains to us, most everybody is now familiar with the matrix theory, that we're living within a holographic projection, and that holographic projection has some form of a controlling element to it, and that humanity is locked in a synthesized matrixed reality that is seemingly impossible to escape. What is not spoken of is your independent cylinder, energetic cylinder, that your altered ego has constructed energetically, that is dominant field for your reality in your life based on your own experiences, your own fears, your own traumas, and your own limitations. This is likened to sitting in a glass cylinder that you are not aware of. And as your energy projects from your body field of all that you are and your level of consciousness, it will literally hit that cylinder and bounce back at you in an amplified state. This can be why you can be experiencing not only repetitive issues in your life, but amplification to those repetitive issues. We have designed an experience and a process for you to break that cylinder for yourself. And we are offering that experience up to all of you. This is groundbreaking. And this is going to be a live process through Zoom. And you're going to be joining a group collective, and Julius and myself are going to be taking you through this process. I will be channeling Julius for this process They're going to take you through this experience. Now, unlike some of the other energetic processes that Julius does and provides for all of you, where they kind of allow you to kind of drift off and wander off in your mind and in your energy field during the process, this one is full engagement by you, full engagement. They're going to be taking you through mind exercises, emotional exercises, and energetic engagement with them during the whole process. The process is between 35 and 45 minutes live on a Zoom session. And so we're going to be offering group sessions. You can join group sessions for this, and the dates are available in the package. And then you also get some downloads and some modules of conversation in this package as well. We broke ground on this process, Angel, a couple of months ago, and we've been so busy with the vaults and the DNA sessions and so many other things that now we're ready to bring this cylinder process forward. You will be among the first to experience this breakthrough for your own self. It is amazing. We've had some extraordinary interpretive response to people who've had this experience and feel the freedom and the release and the expansiveness of their own ability for their energetic field to be able to go farther. Their reach seems to be farther. Their dreams seem to be farther, and they seem to be able to access their resolve with more clarity, and even resolve that they've never had access to before. So we are inviting all of you, scan the code, take a look at it, see if it resonates with you. We are going to be climbing on to get this done. It's going to be released globally, probably very soon. So please climb on now while you have the opportunity. And we're going to have so much fun with you and get yourselves all geared up for this total transformation that everybody is so desiring, that seems to be taking place right now on the earth. And we know that all of you are leaders and part of what is taking place. So that is our offering going on right now. Sorry about that, Angel. The energy is pretty high. He's down again. In his room. So we're just going to go ahead and talk just a little bit more so we can get Angel back in to ask his questions. So when you talk about the large matrix or the mass majority matrix, we're going to speak, masters, that we interpret that as mass conscious collective limited thoughts. And within that general blanket of fear, you have your individual light experiences of fear as well, especially when you're in low levels of consciousness and you live through the interpretation of separate and singular. When you grow your energetic field through the levels of consciousness expansion, you will break through these limitations because you will break through all the matrices when you know yourself fully unified in the conscious awakened state of knowing yourself as source. In the meantime, as you are walking through your pathways of growing your consciousness and coming back to your remembrance, these types of processes and interactions can assist you with the work that you are doing, giving you full credit for your journey, for all of your intentions, for all of your strong work, for all of your love that you are working on discovering for your own self and providing for others, and assisting you along that journey with some of these extraordinary blocks that not only you have created for yourselves, but unfortunately others have created for you as well, is our joy and our honor to be able to provide all of that for you, to be able to provide all of you. So again, we want to invite you in to take a look at this package. You can also take a look at the website, which is just channelingjulius.com, and you can send in your questions to our support team. So that's Sue at the support at channelingjulius.com. So support at channelingjulius.com. And of course, that's Sue Dolan that you are addressing. And she is happy to answer any of your questions if you are interested in what is taking place for us. Okay. It seems that Angel is having issues. We're going to continue just for a few more moments and sending all of you so much love, so much love. And one of the people who have sent something in, we're just taking a quick look here, and we're talking about, they're asking about self-love and how difficult it is for you to love yourself, for you to love yourself. So along your conscious journey, masters, there are two things. There are two things that you are remembering and working your way through to hit high levels of consciousness. One of them is non-judgment of self, which means that you will be practicing non-judgment of all thought. Since you are all thought, masters, you are walking through the journey of understanding how much you judge new thought possibilities and all thought potential that exist is an essence of all that you are. But right alongside of non-judgment of self, masters, is to practice self-love. So you actually can't do one without the other, but it is oftentimes not spoken of that those are the two things that you are walking through, learning and mastering as you grow your consciousness. And one of the aspects of self-love, masters, is allowing yourself to be loved, allowing others to love you, allowing others to love you. So many people will love others unconditionally. They will pour themselves into somebody else, fixing somebody, helping somebody, supporting somebody, and be very, very resistant to receiving love themselves. And that can end up being one of the biggest issues in your lifetime. If you are not able to open yourself up to the receivership of love from others, which is you, master, which is you, then you are not fulfilling your journey of working the self-love component. Now, there's a difference between love and attachment and use and manipulation. That all needs to be refined for you, and that we can handle and help you with through our teachings. But we want to invite all of you to learn to practice the open-hearted state of receivership of love, masters. We do not want you to become dependent on somebody else's love for you, but we want you to allow it. Remember, it is an exchange interpretation of unity consciousness for you to be practicing loving yourself, but also to allow others to love you, because when you come into unity consciousness and realize that they are you, it is another form of loving yourself as well. Okay?
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me well, Kasey?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, I'm sorry I've been kicked out a few times, but here I am. All right. So let's continue with the questions. We have plenty of questions here. Let me make sure we don't miss anybody. I think that now we have a question from, I think we have a question from Karen Tuckett. We haven't had that question yet, right, Kasey?
No.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Hello to all. Question, Julius, with the English language being taught to cause a spell casting, how can we communicate without casting spells on each other? That's a great question.
It is a great question. So what's really fun, Master, is we sometimes really love to play with language, right? To start to play with some of the enunciations and the way you pronounce things in almost a comical way and a fun way with somebody. You could also literally start to make up your own new words. Who says you can't make up words, right? Who says this, right? There's this weird program that holds you back where you just stick to linguistics, right? And you stick to, proper, the way you write things out and the way you spell things out, okay? And you need to all break that, break that and start to mix those things up. That's literally what we would tell you. We would literally tell you to chuck that stuff out of your academic environment and allow people to phonically spell, okay, letting go of all the ridiculous laws that are nothing but spell casting. So anything that becomes an inverted application of an original design is a spell. And all you have to do is look at all of the rules that different spellings and different things of the way that you pronounce things in languages that will lead you to knowing that it's spellcasting. So those things need to start to be taken down. And we literally would encourage people to start speaking phonically, spelling phonically, start changing some of the way that words are pronounced and enunciated and emphasized, and literally start to come up with your new words. That's what we will tell you. We know that sounds crazy, and everybody's going to, whoa, we can't do that. We're like, why? Why? Right now, as far as we know, you don't have laws that are going to drag you off for spelling something wrong. Okay? We don't have laws that are going to drag you off for speaking something in a different way. But also, masters, to encourage you to come back to light language. That would be an interesting one, right? Which is all about interpretation straight from the heart.
Thank you so much. Actually, I was having in my mind a follow-up question, if that's okay, because obviously what comes to my mind right now is that, and I have plenty of teachers in my family, but the thing is, why are we typically, or in general as a society, so strict with spelling the words the right word, right? I mean, when you are a kid, if you make a mistake of spelling something, and we spend years and years making sure that everybody spells the things the right way, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, it's all about programming, and there really isn't an answer. If you were to ask all of these wonderful teachers, and to credit to all of the amazing teachers out there, credit to all of you, okay? And the grammatic laws, you're right. Why the grammatic laws? We will tell you why. This is what we will tell you. We do have your answer for you, Master. It has it has everything to do with categorizing you in wealth and class in your society. That's what it is. Okay. So the wealthy and the ones considered with the highest class have all of that in perfection, right? The vernaculars, they take linguistic language classes. They take, to speak either with an accent or without an accent. And it was a sign of society for a long time. The poorer you were, the least likely you were to have schooling, and you were left to the street languages, okay? The lazy interpretations, the heavy and thick accents. These were actually considered to be almost like gang-like related responses compared to, quote unquote, what is proper, okay? So that's what it was all designed for, was again to separate all of you and to help distinguish people one from another, because people tended to be fraudulent in manipulating people. And one thing that they had a hard time doing was mastering the languages in a proper way. So that's why it was designed. But tearing down all of that separation and all of that prejudice, but more than anything, Master, the spell casting that is provided in all of that is what is coming. It's not even what you should be doing or what can be done. It's coming. And that's going to be a very amazing time for all of you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question. Let me make sure I don't leave anything nor anybody behind. 1 second. All right. I think that we haven't had this question before, which actually comes from Learn George. 1 second, please. Let's make sure that I can read it. Hello, everyone. When we have the shift to 5D, I have heard we will be able to be with our loved ones that have passed on. We will be able to have full lives again with them. Can you enlighten us further?
Master, you already have that. So you're not shifting into 5D. Okay. 5D is already here. You're living in the third dimension. What you're talking about is a state of consciousness and vibration, which can be achieved in the third dimension. And your loved ones are all around you. You do not die. You do not die. You exist eternally, Master, forever, forever. You have just bought into the program that you are separate from them, that you cannot see them anymore, and that you're these beings that are less than, and that you have a God that you worship outside of yourself. That is a level of consciousness, Master, not a dimension. Not a dimension. There are ignorant 5-dimension beings. Okay. In the 5th dimension, there are beings who are just as ignorant as a 4th level of consciousness here, all the way up to the 6th level of consciousness. And it's the same thing here. Okay. So you have been misinformed in what we want to call thorough understanding. Okay. Timelines are what you're speaking of more than anything. You have an infinite amount of timelines where you coexist in lifetimes with all of the characters that you tend to cling to and you tend to run around with. And you can access all those other timelines and re-engage with them fully in the physical once you raise your frequency and your conscious level up to a particular phase, which is known as the 5th level of consciousness, not the 5th dimension. And if you want more about that types of information and the teachings that we provide on all of that, please visit our website. But have no worries, Master. Raise your frequency and your consciousness, and all of the limitations in your life will dissolve away.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The next question, let me see, comes from Turk Thornton. Hey, Julius. Would a selenite bowl clean the crystals that I wear daily? Sitting them in there at the end of the day, trying to figure out how to clean them properly. Or what about Palo Santo or sage?
Yeah, putting crystals in those cool little selenite bowls or setting them on a piece of selenite is a wonderful way to clear them and to charge them. Selenite is a wonderful, and you don't have to clear and clean selenite. So selenite is a charging port, okay? It's a cleaning and a charging port. So yes, it's a wonderful idea to have your crystal sitting on selenite, whether it be a bowl or a slab, or you can get a big chunk of selenite and set them all out on it. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. You can also set your crystals out in the moonlight. And we need to be careful with setting them in the sunlight if they're deep colored crystals, because the sun will bleach the colorations out, but they can be cleaned and cleared through moonlight. You can also put a little water in your bowl of selenite, but you can just wash your crystals. But your selenite bowl will dissolve if you keep too much water in it because it's a soft crystal. But you wash your crystals. And some people literally use some organic and natural gentle dish soap and wash their crystals. In your sink. At night, or in your bathtub, or take them in the shower with you, so you can clean them that way as well.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much, Turk, for the question. Let's go to the next question coming from Amy N77. One second. All right, good night, guys. How can we download or work with the White Galaxy Energy/Light? What is going on with Trump and the tariffs and taxes? Is it true that Elon Musk is getting 8 million a day?
So you have lots of questions there. So you can catch the teachings of the White Galaxy on our website. That's going to have to be dealt with there because that's a full elongated teaching for you. So check out the class on that. Okay. The tariff is about equalizing the playing field. You have no idea how much the U.S. has been taxed and tariffed in their exchanges. You have no idea. It has been grossly out of balance, out of balance over the world. And he is going to, his actions right now are all part of the global economy reset, known as the RV. It's also known as Nasara Jasara. So this is all about equalizing the economic playing field around the world. And the amount of money that Elon Musk is receiving to get you your monies back is nothing compared to what he is finding out and what is going to be provided for all of you, for Nasara Dasara, and the monies coming back to you that have been stolen. So get off of worrying about the amount of money that man is getting paid to do a job for you that is going to provide a fortune for you if you will just let it play itself out. Stop watching the news. Stop watching the propaganda that is trying to get everybody against what he's doing, because the controlling elements are in a panic about what is being revealed to all of you, and pay attention to what is being revealed. Please see through the propaganda, master, and just don't worry about it. It's not affecting you in any way. Seriously, right now, it is not affecting you in any way other than leading to an extraordinarily positive thing. The amount of money that Elon Musk is making is nothing compared to the regime that has been governing you for centuries and raping you economically daily that you have not been aware of. So please stay focused, stay out of fear, stay in love, masters, and amazing things are on the horizon.
Excellent. Thank you so much. One more thing. There's a comment here from XX Acute. Gaming tariffs are also dismantling the never-ending wars. Desperate money machine is getting terminated. That's XX Acute Gaming. And let me go to the offline questions that we have here. And we have a question from Janet. I heard a very popular healer saying that celery is not part of our Mother Earth creation, and it is not coming from God. Asked not to eat celery. It sounds silly, but I would like to know if that's true.
We do not believe that that is a truth, Master, and God does not exist outside of yourselves. You are creating your realities.
All right, fair enough. Another question from Janet. I would like to know about Larimar Stone / crystal properties.
Oh gosh, Master, there's just so much teaching on all of that. This is a rapid fire platform, but Larimar is an amazing stone, amazing stone. It's a calming stone. It helps to calm your nervous system down, and it helps for you to focus and interpret your dreams. And it also is a energy shield for low frequencies around you. It is also worn by royalty. It was worn by royalty at a particular time, known as Atlantean times. They wore a familiar stone similar to that. So the oceanic looking stones are all very much about that type of dimensional field and those types of families. So, the oceanic blues, the turquoises, the soft greens, the seafoam greens, these are all amazing grounding stones as well. The water is a wonderful amplifying tool, as well as grounding tool, as well as cleansing tool. And that stone has all of those energetic properties to it as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The next question is also an offline question. It's going to be the last question of today's show. Incorruptible saints are Catholic and Orthodox saints whose bodies are said to have remained preserved after death with little or no decomposition. Is this a truth or sleight of hand by the church?
That's a great question. So the church is not to be trusted in anything. It's all black magic. So the church is all black magic, but there are ways to preserve the physical bodies, very, very what you would interpret ancient ways. Mummification has been going on for centuries, and it's all about preservation of tissue, and that can be done with different tinctures, different things that are mixed together. They drink it before they die, and then those things can preserve. But also, entombing something itself helps to slow down the decaying process, because it has a lot to do with radiation contact that degrades things. So just the entombing aspect also helps to slow down. But there's many cultures that have frozen or preserved flesh, and it has to do with temperature as well. So a lot of freezing temperatures can also help preserve flesh. But our interpretation of that satanic organization is that everything has to do with black magic for them.
All right. So that was the last question for show number 102. Please allow me to remind you that we have this QR code at the top right corner of the screen about the cylinder process. The cylinder process. A lot of people have already been making their own comments about how great that is and what difference it's going to make to you and to your life. So as much as I would love to show myself a little bit better tonight, I cannot do it. But here we are. We've made it through the end of the show. Kasey, thank you so much for your patience, and obviously also to Julius and the group of entities. Any final words, Kasey?
Just sending so much love to all of you. Have a beautiful, 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 expansive week. And we will certainly see you here next Sunday. Thank you, Angel, for hanging in here with us due to your limited circumstances that you're in. You're always there for us. And so we send all of our appreciation to you. So much love to everybody. And we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. See you next week. And everybody else, thank you. We love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking those incredible questions every single week. It really helps our audience to accelerate their consciousness and humanity's consciousness, which is, at the end of the day, the goal of Expansion Network. Thank you so much for being here with us. And right now, I will try to play the last video of every week's show. Remember, next week, as every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be here with show number 103, okay? Again, thank you so much. See you next week. Have a great, terrific week as well. Bye-bye.